Oh, we're live. Who saw that coming? Not me. Certainly not me. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, gang. Gang? Welcome back, gang? I don't know why I said that. Either way, we're back with some more WARCROW. I obviously have had really nothing but good things to say about this, so I'm excited to redo. I'm going to redo scenario 2, which obviously without, some of the other parts of it isn't really going to have the same impact. But now that I have a little bit of a better hang on, kind of how the event thing works, maybe potentially, we're going to give it another go, because scenario 2 has the Hands of the Mirror, which is going to use the lake, which we do have in play on the board. It also wants to play with 2 walls, just for the sake of it being a little bit more interesting to look at. I have put different terrain on the board. That way it's not just a lake and 2 walls, because that's not fun for anybody. So we have a little bit of different stuff in here. So instead of walls, we're going to have some fences and then one big line of sight blocking thing. So we'll get to that in just a second. Before we start, or before we swap views here, we will be doing a Star Wars Legion full battle report stream on Saturday. The time is still to be determined because I have not been told what time. Last time I think we aimed for like noon or 1, and I've been told probably earlier this time. So I'm not entirely sure what time the Legion stuff's gonna kick off tomorrow, but we will be playing with the beautiful Rancor that some of y'all might have watched me paint on stream. I've got a unit card for it, and I typed up a secondary objective that we're going to use for it, and we're going to play shifting priorities, I think, and that should work out with the Rancor idea that I have in mind, inspired directly by yours truly, WARCROW. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm interested to see how it plays out. The health and the damage and stuff that it does, and when it kind of activates, is going to be interesting, but that's for another day. One more thing, I have really enjoyed working on like this type of content, this stream, this stuff, and making it look as good as I can. Obviously, I have limitations. I am not rich. I try to do as much with as little as I possibly can. I work for the state, so we're not rolling in it. So if there is anything that y'all want that you think would make your viewing of stuff like this better, please let me know, whether that's a comment on the video or in the chat, and I'll work on that, because I want it to be as good as I possibly can get it within my means, and there might be some things that I just haven't thought of. So with that being said, let me swap over here, and I've got this all set up. So this is the lake. Obviously it's bigger than the regular lake. That's fine, I don't care. What's up, Annie? We've got the blue objective here, which, if I understand this correctly, interacting with and exchanging is what will spawn the Hands of the Mirror. And then we've got the red objective here, deployments. Because I'm using a different board setup, these fences on either side are our board edge. Because I wanted to use the lake for this, considering it's a lake-based thing. But the lake is off-centered on this tile, so I just, you get it. Actually, I might need this for the units, which I should probably get rid of like the war surgeon to make this a little bit more balanced from a points perspective. What do we got? 55, 20, 35. So 40, 60, 90. And then over here we got 40, 65, 85, 100. So actually getting rid of the war surgeon specifically would make it perfectly even, if my shitty math is accurate, which it probably isn't. But I don't really care that much. And I like the idea of the war surgeon trying to move it into a kind of an AoE thing. Part of why the points are different is because I'm using the Wrathmane. I'm not using the named version, because honestly, I don't think the named version is really worth it right now without having extra units like the new stuff, because the command skills specifically have to do with the new stuff. Sorry, forgot to get the command tokens here. So I guess I will get rid of the war surgeon just because the points work out really nice and simple that way. But I have the Wrathmane, the evoker that has folded every time somebody's looked at it, and then I've got the hunters, but I've also got the Wisemane added in just for the conquest value. So then we're going to have Drago for the named, the Frostfire Herald, and the Bucklermen, who are invincible. Let me grab initiative. And as far as I understand, that this first scenario doesn't start with anything on the board for events. I think we have to get this blue token before anything is going to kick off for event stuff. So this says, if the character has the event 1 marker, you may exchange it for the event 3 marker. Place the event 3 marker on the character's thing. Mark the stuff. If not in play, place the event 4 marker 1 position ahead of the current one on the turn tracker. So I think once we get that guy and exchange it, that'll kick off the hand spawning. And I think that's really the only event that will show up on the tracker. But to be fair, that's part of why I wanted to do this again, specifically just to see how that works out. So we are going to roll for initiative. And then we're just going to alternate deploy. So I'm playing orcs. Well, I'm playing both, but you get what I'm saying. What's up, Kraut? So this is my roll. So I got 1. This is their roll. They got none. So I have initiative. And that means that I am going to make them deploy first, which will pop Drago in the middle. Now I'm going to go ahead and deploy the hunters. And the Wisemane. So the War Surgeon's not in play this game, sadly, little guy. And let's go ahead and pop the mage here. So that mage can move at like 700,000 miles per hour. Let's go. Honestly, I don't really like, there's no way that I can get to that blue thing faster than their mage can. And he's got better offense than I do also, so I don't really know. I guess we're just going to try the same strategy that we did last time because that worked out so well. And then our Bucklermen, which I really want the next box just because I've actually really enjoyed this tiny little experience. I'm curious what it looks like scaled up. which I think this board is for the game is played on a 3 foot by 3 foot, I think, traditionally. So our Wrathmane, I don't know if I want to just send him straight at this, or if I want to send him to try to take him around back to flank something. Okay, there we go. So I think because I had them deploy first, I think I have to go first, if I understand correctly, which is fine. What are we gonna go with? And just because I love it so much, if anybody missed it, yeah, this sucker's getting used tomorrow if you want to see it. There it is. All right, enough of that. Set that aside. Sorry. So I'm gonna go with the Orc Hunters, and I believe this has 3 turns and I think 3 rounds. I feel like I'm kind of blind, or maybe I'm not blind. I don't know. It just says yes, round 3. So 3 rounds, 3 turns seems to be about the standard for this. So these guys are gonna go, and I think I'm just gonna, well, they could probably double move into me. I think I'm just gonna double move. I'm just gonna tuck up under that tree behind this building, because I don't know if I move fully somewhere if they're gonna charge me or not. So, well, I don't think they'd be able to charge, but they could double move into me and prevent a charge, which I would like a charge. So they have gone. So this is the problem with playing myself, is I want to move their mage first so I have a chance to attack, but that's kind of like purposefully in opposition of the mentality of trying to play myself. So I don't know if I'm going to do that as much as I would like to, but it makes the most sense for their mage to wait until I have moved in some capacity to give them something to attack with. So that's what I'm going to do. Hell yeah. That's all I got. Got to play with myself because nobody else will. Let's go ahead and move Drago. He's got a 2/3. And we're just going to bring him up by the house, because honestly, unless I can get rid of him early, he could absolutely obliterate people with his pistol whip, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, our Saturday we're playing Legion, and for those that missed it, I'll bring him out again because I love him. Is our very poorly lit Rancor proxy model guy. He's going to be in play tomorrow, or Saturday, as a third party with some custom secondary objective shenanigans inspired by this game specifically. So if you want to see how that works out, and we're probably going to be on a Tatooine themed board, that will be earlier in the day on Saturday. So I'm actually really excited to see how that's going to work out, and it makes me kind of want to get and make a Sarlacc and try some Sarlacc shenanigans with a piece of terrain in the middle that can eat you. And honestly, talking about being inspired by this game, this lake and this hand of mirrors and the way that its attacks work are very Starlight Pity. So maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it's not. I don't know. So Drago has gone, which, because of Drago's command thing, I will not be able to capture this point at all, which is just terrible. But it's my turn. I'm gonna go with the mage, my squishy shaman. And we're gonna... Oh, I did that wrong, but it's fine. I'm moving in a straight line. I'm gonna very cautiously sneak my way toward this objective. So double move with the evoker, because they just don't have... I don't know what the purpose of the evoker really is. With well, specifically with modes like this that are like the mage has to interact with this objective, and I guess actually maybe theoretically I should bring the Wrathmane over to almost body block the evoker. That would have been a thought, but whatever. Okay, let's go with the Bucklermen. They move with a 3/3, which I could reach these guys and stay in frame. It's just easier for me to walk myself over here. So I got a 3/3, so that's one move. So yeah, they could definitely get into combat with me, and there's no point for them not to. So to stop me from charging, they're just gonna double move all the way into me. So that's not great. And I think I want to stress, because this is my last activation, so I'm going to stress the Orc Hunters. Hunters. Hit the sub button. And I'm just going to attack with these guys. Which this is my first time using a add-on unit. So if I'm doing something wrong, somebody will have to let me know. But so we're going to swing. And that is a red, 3 oranges, a yellow, and then with the Wisemane, he's got just 1 guaranteed hit. But it looks like just +1 hit. So I'm just gonna use this here yellow dice. And we got a red, 3 orange, and a yellow. So we got not great. 2, 3 hits. Now with Wisemane in the group, I could spend a command point when your unit rolls attack or defense, fix the result of 1 die. Now fix the result from 1 die. I don't know what that means. I'm going to see if that is in the rule book, because if I could just take one of the dice and put them on whatever I want, when the effect allows you to fix a die before rolling your dice, you may select one of your die sides, then roll the rest of your dice pool and calculate the result. So I guess that is technically supposed to be a before I roll thing, but I didn't know that. So we will know going forward. I'm still going to do it because the bucklermen are assholes and I need all the help I can get. So we're just going to take the red dice. We're going to spend one of these command points. And that gives me a total of what? 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have enough to give them vulnerable. So they will be vulnerable for the next attack. And then their defense, 2 greens and a black. That's 4 saves because they have a switch for that exclamation point. So they take 1 damage. But because they take 1 damage, that means they are also stressed. And I could push them back. Which I will. Because they suck. And I'm not going to follow them just in the hopes of charging, potentially. Ooh. But I do wish there was a way that I could get the dice cam to be a little bit clearer, because it's like kind of clear with some symbols. To be fair, these dice I think are harder to see than the Legion dice, but for the camera anyways. But okay. So it's not terrible. So the last, which I always forget, round counter thingy to advance it with turns. That's such a different thing for this compared to Legion. Okay. And so the last thing to go for them is the Herald. I'm going to go with the Herald because it needs to start moving. So it's got a 4-3 move. And I could boost its range up to 12. Way out of range. Okay, so we're double moving with the mage as well. Puts him in contact, ready for the next thing. So move the end of round, collect these guys, get rid of these stress. And I am not in range of that, which means give me these dice. Which, because I'm going to do the scoring with the dice again, I'm just going to start them all on 1. And so it'll be scoring from 1. So everybody's starting with 1 point. Because that's just easier. But because they are scoring that, let me grab a couple things here. Okay, so they have 1 military point. So this scores at the end of each round. You gain 1 military point if the company controls objective, which is, that objective over there. So they gain 1, and then the rest of the scoring is at the end of the game. So, and I think I keep initiative because I'm down on points now, because they scored, I think, is how that works, which is fine with me. So we are going to go with, you guessed it, Wrathmane. No, not Wrathmane. Orc Hunters. And we are charging the Bucklermen, who are now vulnerable thanks to me. Set aside the Wisemane's guaranteed hit. I think red, 3 orange, and a yellow. That is only 3 hits. 4 hits, and considering the Bucklermen almost always seem to roll 4. 1 second. Sorry about this. Hold on. Okay, that should be good. Okay. Here we go. So that is still only 4 with the charge reroll. So that kind of sucks. I do have enough to put vulnerable on them again. I don't know if I can back-to-back vulnerable, but because they're having to defend on this roll, I'm going to say that I can. And I'm going to do that because the orcs are oppressive. I don't know if that's correct. But... So, okay, well, that's still only 3, and I can get rid of 1. So that's 2 saves on 4 damage. They're going to keep vulnerable, and they're going to take 2 damage, which means that is 1 dead. Because they have 1 wound already. They have 2 health each. And they're taking 2, so that is 1 dead and 1 more wound. And they are, because they lost combat, I am going to push again. And I guess I will follow up, but I don't think it's going to matter because I am probably going to get charged by Drago. So it is their turn. And let's see how this works. So spellcaster can... During their activation, the character may spend the marker to perform the long action Release the Storm. No, only the spellcaster can interact with this marker. Interact, I think, is a short action, I'm going to say. So I'm going to interact with this objective. And now, if the character has the event marker, they may exchange it for the event 3 marker. Layla. Wait, this mage is a woman? That'll learn me. Whatever. If the character has the thing, they can exchange it. Cool. So, Layla's eyes bristle with keen interest when you show her the vase you discovered at the farm. She doesn't seem to care that it's broken. She thanks you for returning it and tells you that it should never have been separated from its brothers and sisters. She doesn't seem to be in her right mind, so you don't ask any questions. Layla hands you a small leather bag and then recommends that you don't stay near the mirror for too long because you could possibly bother someone before you can utter a question of any kind. So, this would give them the key for the next scenario. So just ignore that. But what that does do is, if not in play, place the event 4 marker in one position ahead of the current one on the turn tracker. So now, well, which kind of sucks because they're going second, that means literally the next activation or the next turn, that thing will go off. So let's see. I'm not going to bother with any of these because there's exchange, persuade, make a willpower test before rolling the dice. Yeah, to add a thing. Your words make Layla less suspicious. She wraps her coat while extending her hand with tattoos momentarily flash. Character suffers shove 4, receives. Layla shrugs. You haven't brought her what she needs. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so we're going to ignore that because it's not interesting. We're going to stick with what we have here because it's more interesting. Okay, so basically the dumb idiots in the military force are fighting over this. Right. And I'm going to say that that's like a bucket of water or something because they're all dumb. But the smart folk were coming over here to get some relic. So the magical folk were going for an artifact. Now, the hegemony have claimed said artifact and have taken it somewhere to trade it for a key. And I was told to not linger around the lake as it might disturb somebody. We're going to find out next round that we're going to disturb someone. So they have taken an artifact from the lake. They have traded it for something that they need for the next scenario. And now stuff's going to happen. So that is the Herald. And now our event 4 marker is going. What do we got going on over here? So they're out of range now, which means I'm controlling this objective. If I can keep it that way, great. Yeah, they might just get slapped up by the hands coming out the mirror or whatever. Okay. So I think, and they also get, yeah, they'll get a point at the end of the game for having claimed that key, I think. So back to me. Let's see, what's the range? Enemy unit within 10 strides. Frightened and disarmed. I don't think I'm going to be able to get visible and whatever for this turn. So what I will do, God, the YouTube emojis are just wild. Whatever. Make sure we're still good over here. Yep. I'm gonna go with the Evoker just because I think I might actually be able to get in range and cast something with it before it dies. So we're going with the Evoker. Now, I could summon a rock. A rock. Sick. Okay. So the spell has 8 strides. Probably not going to be able to get there, so I'm going to have to move, and then we'll see. Which honestly, oh no, we might be in range. But this mage probably about to get slapped up by the lake. Okay, yeah, so we're in range, so we don't need to do that. So that's kind of cool. I could add 2 black dice. It says after resolving the attack, the spell gains the property, remains active, and adds the effect. The target and all enemy units within 5 strides from it receives the slowed state. So I guess if it was in a group, I could drop a rock on them to slow them down, I guess is the idea. But we don't need to do that because we're just trying to drop a rock on this bitch. So We have a willpower test of 2 orange and a yellow. Let's see if we can cast. We can, thank God. And that is a red, an orange, and 2 yellows. Drop a rock. All right, well, that's awful. So, anyways, about that rock, let's just, nobody needs to talk about it. It's fine. The evoker is terrible. I'm just going to stand on that. I don't even care. Okay, anyways, that was useless. All right, so it's their turn. They've got the Bucklerman or Drago. I think Drago needs to charge and whip on the hunters. And his charge is 8. Yep, he's good. So he's just gonna charge into the mix here. Yeah, that was like casting a big ice spike and then it not critting. But if not critting equaled it melting before it hit its target. Anyways. So we got 2 red, 2 yellow, and a green. And we're going to actually get rid of one of his command tokens for the last round because of the anvil, whatever the shit. I think I'm going to stress because we're in turn 5. Which actually, after this dude goes, them slappy-ass hands are about to come out of the river. They're about... So, stressing on attack, I get a hit and a exclamation point. And then he attacks with 2 red, 2 yellow, and a green. Here we go. 1. That was 1, 2. Ooh, what's he got? All right, so he's made me vulnerable, but he does have a save. So that is actually very lucky for me. So he only got 3 hits off. I'm defending with a green and 2 blacks. That is only 1. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Because the wise mane's in there. I didn't think about it. So because the wise mane's in there. Oh, that was his. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, yeah. So that was only 1. But because the wise mane's in here, he just gets a guaranteed save. So that's 2. So I've got 2 saves, 3 hits. So I take 1 damage. I can live with that. Absolutely. But now they're stressed. And I guess he can push me back because I don't know how that works when I'm engaged with multiple things. But we're going to run with it anyways. So there we go. And he is not going to follow up because potentially in the next round the Bucklerman might be able to charge. So, but now the icy surface of the lake shatters into 1,000 pieces. From the depths of the water emerges a monstrous hands. A monstrous hands? No, just emerge monstrous hands with snapping jaws embedded in their palms. Half-eaten algae and fish hang from the corners of the gaping maws. The atmosphere changes, becomes oppressive in the presence of magic. The beast rides and twists while squirting a dark, oily mixture everywhere. Yikes. Okay. So, Once finished, move the marker to things. Okay. So I'm going to put, I wonder, do I have anything that would represent hands in a river? No, I do not. So we're just going to put this on the river to show that this thing is active. So I'm rolling an orange dice to see who he attacks, which his range is 30. Which is everything on the board because it's from the perimeter of this lake. So yeah, I don't know why I bothered looking. So let's roll an orange dice. We got a hit and an exclamation point, which means he's attacking the closest enemy, which, because my dumbass put this dude with his toes in the lake, is my guy, because their mage is just a hair further away from the edge. So if I know this mage, it's about to die. And I'm going to call that melee because I'm like literally practically standing in the water. And that's 2 reds, a yellow, and a guaranteed hit. So just give a guaranteed hit, 2 reds, and a yellow. Yikes. Okay. That's 4 damage. And it's got an exclamation point, which means it's going to slap my ass regardless and shove me. But this thing's defense is a red and a black, which doesn't do me any good. Can I do anything here? No, I can't. Okay, well, thank God. We got 1 save, which means I'd still be dead just from the slap. But also, when it pushed me back, I would have taken the damage anyways. So, in typical evoker fashion, it has died with little to no fight put up. So now we move that and it will activate again in 2 more turns. And hopefully it kills somebody else because I just can't take it. So back to me. I kind of want to just try to slap the shit out of that river with my own guy, as dumb as that would look, because I think it's funny. But I'm not going to yet. Or should I? Because the hunters are kind of doing okay. The Wrathmane, I kind of wanted to Wrath Roar somebody, but then that thing, if I can kill it, does give me... What do I get for killing this thing? 1 point for Monster Hunter. So I kind of need to fight over the objective. Which, to be fair, if I could just get rid of the Bucklermen, they're probably fine. So maybe I should go in there. What's this guy attack with? Okay. Basically, to kill the water, I need to get... When your unit engages in combat with the hands, if the final result of your roll shows 3 hits or more, the hands of the mirror are defeated. So I just need to roll 3 hits, and it just dies. It just folds like the little bitch hands that it is. So I think we are going to go with the Wrathmane. Or should I stress my hunters and charge while I'm able? Yeah. Because this is the end of the round. I think I am, actually, I'm going to focus here. Because I need this objective for this point. So I'm going to charge them while I can and hopefully push them back further because I need them off the point. So they're going to get stressed. And I can't stress them again, I don't think. No, I'm in range. And we're going to charge. Which, yeah, they don't really all fit, but That's okay. And I think we had 3 orange, yellow, and a red, and then 1 guaranteed hit from the wise main. That is terrible. Only 1 hit, so we're definitely going to take the charge reroll. I guess that's slightly better. So 4 hits, and they'll stay vulnerable. And we got a green and 2 blacks. Okay, that is good for me. That is only 2 saves. And because they're vulnerable, I can get rid of one of those. So that's only 1 save on 4 damage. So that's 3 damage that got through. Which means that is 2 dead models because they've already got 1 damage on them. Plus the 3. That knocks out 1, leaves 2, just enough to get rid of 2 more. So just like that, the Bucklermen are down to 1 courage, which means even if they do get back in range, I will out courage them. So I will have control of this. But it is their turn. Oh, I could also push, which I might as well. And I'll follow up just because. Actually, I will not. Well, no, because I was just in range of that, and Drago does. Oh, he does have courage. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Well, no, I guess I would still have it because I have a courage value of 2. He has a courage value of 1. So until I lose people, it doesn't matter because I've already captured that objective. So that's mine because my courage value is higher. Okay. So it is their turn. Now, I could go with the Bucklermen, or I could stress Drago and go again with him. I think it makes the most sense for me to go with Drago because the Bucklermen are neutered. So that's what we're going to do. Which, because I'm so close, obviously, charge. Cool. I can't stress him again. Well, I guess I could. I could stress him one more time. I think I'm going to. As kind of a Hail Mary of sorts. Which, if you are enjoying any amount of this so far, you could hit that like button. I would appreciate you for at least the next 7 minutes. And maybe longer. So, that gives me 1 solid 1 exclamation point. And then we're rolling 2 reds, 2 yellows, and a green. And we will have a charge reroll. So that is pretty terrible. Not gonna lie. In a bad way for me. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. And I am vulnerable and I'm gonna stay vulnerable. I might get a little wiped out here. So I've got 1 guaranteed save for the wise main. I've got a green and 2 blacks. So I actually wonder with the switches, because the orc hunters have a switch on defense that if you roll shields, you add hits to your roll. But does it get rid of the shields? Let me look it up. Or like, since I just rolled like 3 hits, do I also get, or 3 shields, do I also get 3 hits on top of that? I don't know. Let me check. 306. Let us see. This doesn't say anything about switches. What's the other one? 317. Every time you make a roll, you'll get a series of symbols, to which are added the automatic symbols that your roll may have. A weird sentence. Switches give you a chance to spend some of your symbols to apply various effects in resolving the rolls, which is, it's essential that you spend as a requirement to activate. Spent symbols will no longer be available. Okay. So I could just take some of those shields away to deal damage back. That doesn't seem worth it. In any capacity. I mean, I guess if he only rolled 1 hit and then I rolled 3 saves, I could just spend the 2 extras because I don't need them. I guess that makes sense. He doesn't have any switches. Otherwise, so that means I'm taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I saved 3. I am vulnerable, which means one of these is gone. So I'm taking 4. And just like that, 2 of these fellas are dead. And they're stressed again and still vulnerable. Oh, actually, that's 2 dead guys. And one of them is still wounded. Just kidding. So they are demoralized next time they go, I think. Well, they're demoralized right now. Actually, at the end of this round, which that is the end of the round. So, but I won't be able to do anything but rest with them, I think, on the next go, which is just the worst. So that's gone. That's gone. Oh, that looks good. Let's see, I've got 3 fellas left, so I'm still fine. So I do get the point for that round. But if I don't... Actually, this went from an kind of okay situation to maybe a shitty situation. We'll see. But we move into the last round. I kind of feel like I need to go swing on this water, because that's not looking great. Drago basically is, honestly, best case we tie over there, and the tiebreaker is the water, I think, is how this is going to go. So, and now it's tie game, so initiative will flip, which means they go first, which sucks for me. Because I think it makes sense if I go with the mage and you declare move, ally gain Falcon within 5 strides. Oh, I don't have one of those. Forming the action rest, remove 1 tinge. Yeah, don't have any of that. So I think I'm just gonna cast a fireball at this water. and try to kill it before I even have a chance to, and steal that thing. So I don't need to do anything, so I just gotta roll my willpower test. And he succeeds big time. Fireball is 1 red, 1 orange, 2 yellow. So this is our little guy here, or Layla, whatever. Oh no. Yep, that's 4 hits. So the mage just killed the slap-ass hands, which means they get that point also. And the a-hole killed it before it could even go again. How lame. Okay, well, so that was a spell cast, and then I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna take all my earnings, who this mage is just carrying. Now it is my turn. I can't go with the Orc Hunters because they have to rest. Oh no. Which means I gotta try to bring the Wrathmane up. Which we got a 3-2. 3, 2. Granted, the way that this is going is they're gonna attack me again. I'm gonna lose that objective completely. Just because of the way that this has fallen. Because I don't have anything, command points or skills or anything that I could cast. Yeah. So that was 1 move. Two moves. So now the creature would go again, but it's dead. So now we got turn 8, round 3. It would certainly seem not. All I know is that mage has kicked ass every game I've used it, and the Orc mage has folded like a damn umbrella in a hurricane. Didn't even stand a chance. So I kind of want to go pull a Justin maneuver and punch the shit out of these Orc Hunters with my 1 Bucklerman. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Because even just 1 guy, he still got 2 orange and 2 yellow. So this one is for Justin. 2 orange, 2 yellow. This little guy here, swinging. God damn it, Justin. That's a Justin roll, too. Nothing. No hits, no nothing. Is that right? Yeah. Useless! So now I'm going to do also a Justin maneuver, and I'm going to just try to run away because it's the end of the game. Which, mainly just because it's funny, is going to open him up for an opportunity attack. Which, because I still have 3 guys, we're still good. We got a red, we got a yellow, and we got 1 guaranteed hit from a man Gul'dan. That was a hit. So that is 4 hits, and he is rolling 2 blues on defense. That is 2 saves to 4 hits, which actually, well, he's vulnerable too, but it would have been just enough either way to kill him. So he folds. The first time in 4 games has that full unit of bucklermen been murdered dead, because they're the most durable suckers around. Okay. So now it's my turn. Which again, I don't think I can really go with the hunters. They still have a conquest of 2, which is still higher than Drago. But if Drago kills even one hunter, I will lose. Actually, yes, I'll lose that point. But oh, well, I'm not going to be able to cast the Wrath Roar and then move, I don't think. And Frighten doesn't do anything. So I'm just going to charge again with the Wrath Main, whose range is 10. And I'm going to try to push and follow up. Hopefully if I could win combat on Drago. So well, actually, the command point things don't, they're not actions, I don't think. Because they just cost command points. So I could just trade them. I don't think it's actually a thing. No, because there's performing skills, and skills are different symbols. So actually, I will spend my 1 command token to give him Frightened and Disarmed, which Frightened doesn't matter, so I don't care. So he is disarmed. And I'm going to swing on him. Which, because it's the end, I might as well stress him again. And gain a guaranteed hit and exclamation. And then we got 2 reds, an orange, and a yellow. Oh, yeah. So I could use that as a hit. But I could trade his hollows specifically for wounds. It just says inflict 1 wound to the target. So I could trade both of those hollows, and he's just going to take 2 wounds guaranteed, which seems like a pretty good idea. So he's taken 2 wounds. That means he's only got 2 health left, and he still has 4 more to defend. So, what's he defend with? 2 blues and a black. He can stress again, but if he does, because odds are he's going to be stressed after this combat, he's going to gain another one, and he won't be able to go, and he kind of needs to go. So I can't stress to gain that extra defense dice. So that is... He doesn't have any switches, that's kind of surprising. So that's 2, which means he takes a total of 4, which means that he's dead, which is just great for me. Cool. Which means that that objective is safe, which means I will score it at the end of this game, which I would not have seen coming. But that means the only person that can go is this mage. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in range, but we're going to try. This is the last. That was round 8, though. because he's only gone twice. Okay, we'll see where we go. Frostfire Herald. 4/3. So we're just gonna see if we can get in range here to cast, which its modified length is 12 strides, which it is just in range of the hunters. So, no, I already did that. We got 3 orange. Against 1 black tinge dice. Which that missed. That hit. And because this isn't a hollow, I don't think there's any tinge. So we're good to cast a fireball, which is a red, an orange, and 2 yellows. That is, holy crap, 4 hits. He has no switches. So we got 4 hits on the hunters, which a green and 2 blacks. Yeah, okay. Well, that is 1 save, which means I'm taking 3 damage, which is 2 dead models, so I think Wise Mane and my 1 extra guy are gone. This has been the most deadly match that I've played yet. Because it's such a short form things, typically, I don't know, it doesn't really feel like there's a whole lot of stuff happening. Okay. Tragic, and they took damage. Oh no, stress doesn't come from ranged attacks, I don't think. Okay, round 9, which is the last round. The only option I have, which isn't any option, I can't activate either of them. Yeah, this, which to be fair, I really actually was happy with the paint job on the Frostfire Herald, even though I wasn't really feeling it. But then the fact that it's kicking my ass is also kind of annoying. And the Orc Mage was probably my least favorite model to paint, and it has also performed accordingly. So, hey. So, because I don't know if I could stress him again, because his morale is 2 and he has 2 stress. So I don't actually know if I can activate him again. But it also doesn't matter, because he doesn't have a ranged attack and I can't get in range. So I think they're both stuck, which means the mage is just going to stress again to activate again, because it's the only unit left. And that don't do me any good. Do we dare try to finish off the hunter, or do we try to... Oh no, we gotta go for the hunter. Which I should actually still score on that, I think. Because the way that I understand it, it's not like Legion where you have to babysit the objectives. Once you have claimed it, it flips to your color until somebody of a higher conquest value comes into that space. So I should be good whether he dies or not. But that's what's happening. I guess I could move just to get into range, because this dude moves so far, I'm not going to bother measuring it. He can get in range, so I don't have to go against the void or whatever to try to cast this. We just try to cast it, which, good lord, 3 successes. He's good. This mage is rolling weighted dice. You get a red, an orange, and 2 yellows. get in the box. That is 2 hits. And now my Orc Hunters, because they're crippled. Roll a blue and a black. I also forgot a disarmed state from the last roll, which, as far as I understand, isn't just melee, but it might be. Nope, doesn't say, so that's anything. So he's also going to lose a defense dice. And that's a bunch of misses anyways, which means 2 damage go through regardless, and he's dead. So that means I get a 3rd point for that. And let's check scoring. So at the end of each round, which we've scored, at the end of the game, you get 2 arcane points if your company has the event 3 marker, which they do. One military point if your company has the event 4 marker, which they do because they killed the beast. What did I just knock over? No, fence. Ah! Hold on. Oh, we got it. 1 military point if you marked the monster hunter thing. Okay, so the event 4... Well, that's confusing. What is the event 4 marker? Because I thought that was the beast, so that seems conflicting. Not in play. Monster Hunter, which is the event 4. Yeah, I don't know. That's a confusing wording, so I'm not actually not actually entirely sure. But no matter how you slice it, it's either a total of 6 to 4 or a total of 7 to 4. So no matter how you slice it, I got my ass kicked again by myself. But the fact that there was 2 survivors of this whole thing is pretty cool. So, you know what? I'll take a good story out of it versus whatever. We ended up with the Wrathmane, who is young and spry and ready to go. He didn't take a single damage. He could have gone all day against the Frostfire Herald. And if there was another round, or hell, even another turn, that Herald would have probably got its ass kicked because it only has 2 health and shitty defense. It's just keeping them on the outside keeps them safe. Which, again, that Herald kind of carried that team. It got the objective, it exchanged the objective, and it killed the monster in the lake. So, Drago underperformed this game compared to the last games. But, you know, honestly, that was just because of the sheer exchange of it. It was probably the most fun match that I've done yet. Although, the scenario 3 from the stream, the last stream, was also pretty good with the Morab coming into play. But, you know, it seems like the orcs are struggling a little. Maybe there's some more or some better synergy with the Varank and the trolls and stuff that are in the Beyond box. But I don't know. I want to get it, but it's sold out everywhere. So I literally can't get it. But I will get it because, kind of just like this box, I really dig the models that are in it. I will absolutely be getting more of the Feudum stuff whenever it comes out. Because honestly, even if I don't ever play this against a real human, doing it in this setting with you guys and just kind of playing myself, you still get to play with the game mechanics and the models and everything, so it's still good fun. So, for what's coming, Saturday, time to be determined. And this guy's coming out. Here he is again. He will be coming out in Legion on Saturday with a custom secondary, and that should be good. Before noon, I know that much. That's all I could tell you. As soon as I know, it'll be scheduled. So keep an eye on the page if you want to see that. We should have an overhead cam for that because the field's so big. There's no way to do it in this kind of view, I don't think. Down the road, obviously I want to get some different angles and stuff. But for now, again, within my means, making it as best I can. And honestly, I spend a lot of time in this room just about every day working on different ways to do things. So again, if there's anything that you think would be better, let me know. Things that you want to see. If you want, hey, I want a camera that shows whatever, let me know. I'll try to get it implemented. Also trying, maybe especially doing the solo stuff, make it a little bit more engaging, a little bit more of like a narrative thing, a little more exciting for you guys to watch. Because again, I enjoy doing it. So there will definitely be more of it. I don't know when the next WARCROW stuff's going to be because there's only so many times I could play these kind of base scenarios. I don't think I have enough units to play. God, could you imagine a GoPro on my head? That would make me sick. That'd make me sick for you guys. I don't know about that. But in the rulebook, there are, I think, a couple scenarios at the end. Yeah, there's a couple, but these again are based on 3-foot by 3-foot boards. And I think the point value in this is like 500 points or something, and the points in this box are only like, I don't know, 100 maybe at most. So I don't think I really have enough to do those scenarios. So I'm not sure when the next WARCROW stream is going to be. But we'll see. I might play through some more of these, or hell, maybe I'll just set up whatever I want in a 2-foot by 2-foot space and play with it just for the sake of it. We'll see. But for sure, Saturday there's a Legion stream coming, which those don't come around too often. So if you are interested in Legion, be sure to join for that. There could be some Elder Scrolls Call to Arms stuff. I don't remember how to play it, so I'll have to figure that out again. But that's a solo thing. I could do that. Again, keep an eye out for a video coming tomorrow, kind of explaining what the plan is going forward as far as painting, tabletop stuff, and kind of what to expect as far as a schedule for that going forward. So if you guys are interested, you'll kind of know when I'm doing these types of things, so you know when to look out for it, because right now it's kind of all over the place. Wherever I find the time, you only have like a day or so if you happen to check the page to see when I'm going to be doing it. So that'll be in a video tomorrow. So I guess maybe a bit of a spoiler for you. If I do something solo like this again, the earliest it will be is next Thursday. So take that for what you want. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed this, honestly, as much as I did, because this game was a whole lot of fun, and it was deadly. I've got a setup for Legion. I will see you guys Saturday for sure, and we'll see where that takes us after that. Okay? All right. I appreciate you guys being here. Hit the sub button, hit the like button, please. It does help a ton. And I will see you guys Saturday. All right? Thanks, guys.